ya sono arashi ake ahi. Sinelia somoru hayakela. Sinayahi. Good day, good love, good light, illuminators, way showers, guardians of Gaia, angels of earth, and all physical and non-physical beings here today to share with us our cup of inspiration. Thank you once again for joining me. My name is Wendy, and if you're new to the channel, my name is Wendy, this is Dave, and we continuously share our joy, our excitements in all the myriads of ways that we're guided. And so through these cups of inspiration, we never really know which way things are going to go. I've always got wonderful things to share with everybody. I wanted to begin by saying thank you to all of you for all of your comments, all of your love, all of your sharings, all of your private messages, all of your private sessions, all of your donations. Thank you. This is part of what today's message is all about. Also is abundance. And yesterday we talked about Jade and the Jade plant. Thank you so much. I was just out in the backyard repotting our baby Jades, and that was an inspiration all of its own. And so I was sort of kind of a continuation on that. The idea of Jade, the idea of our connections to crystals, abundance. I've got some oracle cards here to share with everybody today. So we'll see what the oracle messages have to say today. Today is May 16th, 2021, and the date equals, what did I say? I'm thinking,
is it a 7 day?
So today is actually the 16th, but when I added it up, it equaled to 17, right?
20.
So it was like, wait a second, I think I added wrong.
3, 4,
all of a sudden,
5,
I was like, wait a second.
5, 10 plus
17. So
7.
I did. So 17. So I got the date right. What I got wrong in my mind is what the 17 equaled. So I was feeling the 7 energy with the 7, the date equaling 7 and the 17, but yet today's date actually equals 8. And so as I was showing this unlock symbol for 7, I realized, oh, wait a second, it's actually the date equals 8. So I digress in that. I'm sharing pictures of the...
Maybe it's 1 and 7.
Well, there we go.
Where's
so
the 1?
So the thing is that's what I've done before, and that 7 is unlock and 1 is center. So thank you. Because in that, no, well, and then I opened right up to flow, which is 8, which is, this was actually the one that I was thinking about today because of it equaling 8. I thought of this earlier because of this particular one that I drew back in 2015, the Sacred Circuit for Sirius, and that I wrote on here, Sirius, Yael, and Shikani, and because that was the energy that I was accessing and embracing and opening contact with these symbols began to open my contact with these energies. So these are symbols, sacred circuitry from Sirius, brought to us by Daryl Anka, through Bashar for Daryl Anka. And these are all public for all of us to play with. And the interesting thing is when I was taking out the cards, which I wasn't necessarily going to do this in this particular order, but the card that was on the very top of the deck, is Star Ancestors. So sorry, Dave, I'm always covering his face. So Star Ancestor. So I wanted to show this up close to you. Now, we were just talking to Dave and I about the pyramids. We were looking at literally underwater photographs of the pyramids here off the coast of Florida, crystal pyramids. We were also looking at underwater pictures of things. I don't want to say things. Of structures found off the coast of Cuba, and that all of this sort of ties into the we've got the pyramids here and our star origin, star energy, but we were talking specifically about crystals and pyramids, and today I wanted to talk just a little bit about the jade crystal. So so that sort of ties into the crystal idea too, but specifically it was about Atlantis, about finding the remnants of Atlantis. So today's reading was also had this feeling of ancestors, and there's a couple of reasons for that I'll share with you as well. Family, star families, and I'm even getting now the parts that we all play together with our earth families with relationship to our star families as well. So I was just sort of getting that idea. And the backs of these cards are this deep green. So today is also this feeling of the idea of, once again, this idea of green, of heart chakra energy, connecting with the heart, opening contact with nature, May being May and the trees. And we were talking yesterday about trees, so I had a little small dedication here for you with that too. And I also wanted to dedicate this reading to my dearly departed niece Autumn. So I know that you're just in total joy running through the meadows, and so I just wanted to let you know that I know you're here with us, and we've got the fairy deck here too, so I know that you are a fairy in spirit, and I just wanted to acknowledge that. And so part of this is all about that too, about embracing all of our family in all of the times and whens and the wheres and the hows, and how we all play these magnificent parts with each other. So with that said, so being in the flow of this energy with you guys today, and to remind all of you is that, when we're doing these videos, and if you're new, I've been doing these for a long time now, about a little over 6 years, live events, just sharing any way that I can think of to share my love, my excitement. And that's kind of a message for all of us, is to go with your own flow. It doesn't mean you have to do it forever. It doesn't mean it's the thing you're going to do. Do what inspires you in the moment, and just see where it leads. And that's really what this is partially about too, is living in the moment. And the 1 and the 7, unlocking when we're centered. So number 1 is center, and when we're centered, we're able to unlock so much more inside of us. And so is there, I know you said, I think you were going to say something on that.
Well, I did want to say, and you and I were talking about this today and yesterday, I think, that the mechanics and the physics involved with being excited about something.
Yes.
And if you think about it in an energetic way, with physics and the idea of electrons and quantum mechanics, if you are excited about something, that means something is exciting you in a quantum physics way, energetically. Yes. And that also means that there is a something that wants to receive that excitement. So a lot of times we say, who cares about doing this, because nobody cares. But because of, we can understand, even just from a physics standpoint, if you're excited to do something, it's because there's someone excited to receive the thing that you're doing. And it's sort of the idea that there might only be one person out there that's interested in the thing that you're doing. But that one person is why you do it. And anytime that you're excited, why would you follow your highest excitement? Because there's someone there to receive the thing that you want to share with them.
It's funny that you're saying this, because I didn't even read the bottom of the card to all of you, but Star Ancestor is the card, and below it is follow the voice of your soul. So what an appropriate message.
And I guess I should also say that it doesn't always have to be a human a person here on Earth that's exciting you to do those things. So you might be excited to sing in the shower where nobody could hear you. Well, probably somebody's listening.
Yes, they are.
And someone is excited to share in your excitement.
That is very true. And that goes with everything that we do in life. And I forget about that myself. And, whenever we're doing something, invite your star families to participate. Invite your angels in to be in the moment where you're in a non-resistant way of hearing your messages that you need to hear. All of these, when we're following our joy, we're in this place of being able to receive. And I forgot what else I was going to say.
I was just thinking about how excited I am as a computer person, and video and photography and all that other stuff, that today I get to be a video engineer.
Yes, that's true.
So we've been playing with cameras and software and different angles. So you saw when we first started the video, we were on a different view, and we're not editing this video.
No, we're just
doing this live
on poor Jason Stripes again. Mm-hmm. So I think we're going to have to close the blinds.
So we have, cameras of all different types that we just happen to have, that we're able to figure out how to hook up to the computer. And we've been playing with the idea
we've just been playing
of how to make it easier to show you the cards as one picks them. So we have all kinds of ideas, but we decided we're excited to do it, and we're not going to make it perfect. We're just going to start doing it. We're just going to start doing it.
So as you can see, sometimes it seems like there's not a motive to our madness, but there's always messages within all of this. And that's what I was going to say at the beginning, too, that David and I were talking about yesterday, that for all of the things that, and I think this is where I wanted to go with the videos.
The light.
Be the light.
The light.
See, I forgot what I was going to say again. See? Oh, now it's a little dark. I guess we'll have to turn on the lights now.
Still, the light envelops.
The light envelops us.
I'll have to go like this and turn on the
So yeah, we play. See, this is the other thing. We get to play with all this, and we get to play with our lighting. And Dave already had all this lighting because of being an actual photographer. And so anyway, as we share our highest joy and remind everybody that it's the perfection of the imperfections that we are. It's the uniqueness that makes us amazing. It is us being unique that makes us all perfect. And I'm just amazed at, as I'm looking down at even the cards that I haven't even pulled any, and yet as the ones that I've just in front of me, and the abundance is one of the things I wanted to share with you guys too, in that so much abundance I've received just through interacting with all of you, and the gifts that I've received from all of you. And so part of my sharing today is going to be a little bit about that and about other forms of abundance. And so when we talked about the Jade and the Jade plant and bringing in abundance, and part of the abundance that I've received is, and I did not draw this card, this just happened to be the next card in line, is the Druid card, Hold the Space. And, that's really what I've been doing all these years, is really just holding the space for my joy, and holding a space so other people can feel comfortable sharing their joy. And what I want to say about, that's what I want to kind of get back to too, about my own sessions, in that in addition to these videos, all of the things that I've learned and studied, and Reiki and Galactic Reiki, and having classes and teaching classes, all of these are including the information I'm receiving right now from my guides, that Dave's receiving, the energy from our hands, our soul family that's with us today. All of this is always multidimensionally being emanating from us, the information, the circuitry, the light codes that's in our voices, the whatever we're sharing here, are activations for you. So what I wanted to say as well about the sessions that I do are very much like this, in that depending on what it is that you're looking for. So sometimes we're focusing on light language. Sometimes we're focusing on information that's coming through cards. Maybe it's that somebody wants to buy a deck of cards and start reading cards because it excites them. That doesn't mean it's going to be the end all be all of everything that you're doing. But holding the space for yourself and others really invites this unity consciousness, and that's one of the things that makes this so much fun, is just holding the space for live events for all of you to come and have fun, and the events that we've done live. And so my sessions are voluntary donation basis, meaning none of us shy away from, or should shy away from, any form of abundance. The point is that we don't want to limit the ways in which we can receive it, whether it's monetary, whether it's a synchronicity, whether it is a sharing, whether it's being connected to someone else through someone else, whether it's a friendship, whether help me out here, what else? So many, a gift, somebody has an ability, you have a gift to share, I have a gift to share, he has a gift to share, and we exchange those gifts, whether it's physical, non-physical, digital.
Well, the idea too is we all have appointments to make with each other, and making those appointments is the abundance that we receive. Just meeting someone new and getting to spend the time with them is obviously a form of abundance, and the things that could come out of that are endless. And it might be someone is inspired to share something of theirs because we want to invite all forms of abundance to be shared, and we want to promote that idea.
Yes.
And Wendy and I, along with many others, feel that the world that we want to be in should not be driven by dollars and cents. And so we are doing our best to actually live in a way that allows all forms of abundance equally.
Yes, equally.
And remove all the boxes of limitation that we can that we can. And as we identify more of those boxes of limitation, we open those boxes and get rid of the box.
And it's not that yes, we would love to see a world that is not driven by money, because it's not just about the little things that when we think about money, and it's about the bigger picture, that the things that we see that are of how do I put this, of humanitarian, what is good for the all, are not as important as the money behind it. So let's just say money was not an issue. All of these needs would be taken care of because everything is driven by monies. And this is where we see this even with Dave's grandson AJ being a quadriplegic and disability. We see all of this all over, where if money wasn't an object and it was only the humanitarian aspect that was being considered, all of us, there would be nowhere he couldn't access. I guess I don't know how else to better say that, because it shouldn't even be a question. And the reason is money, because it costs money to do these things, to make these alterations, but if money wasn't the object or the issue, it would already be done for all of us, every single thing. And so when we talk about abundance, this is what we're talking about, is living in a world in that way, in that it's not just about the poor and the hungry. It's about the overall equality of each and every person is equal, and each and every form of abundance is equal. Today, money is a form of abundance, and that's okay. But what we're saying is we want a world where that is not the focus. And if we can remove that from the equation altogether, what magical things could potentially happen? Yes, you have something.
Well, I wanted to mention that it's not even a metaphysical concept.
No.
In the idea of money, because money is a thing that we just made up. It doesn't actually represent anything. And the value in dollars that are put on things is also completely subjective and made up.
Yes.
So it doesn't even make sense to operate based on dollars and cents as the driving force. And because it's all really made up to begin with, in a real sense.
It really is. World, I mean, it is.
It doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't make sense to put all your eggs in a basket.
No.
That we know, even in this made up physical world that we're inhabiting, to operate in a way that it's made up, even in our imagined reality. It's a made up thing that represents nothing.
And we realize that, and every day we talk about if we really sit and look at everything that goes on in our lives, that is let's call it things we don't prefer. Let's just call it almost anything you don't prefer. Tell me that is not somehow in some way related to money. It just is.
Every aspect of things that you do on a moment basis often is driven by
money,
the made up concept of money and
value.
And everyone listening to this, all the humans that are alive listening to this are here and alive. And no matter what hardships you might have faced, and we've all faced hardships.
Yes, we have.
Some worse than others.
Yes.
But you're still here. So you've had enough abundance to make it this far. So there's no reason to think that the abundance will always be available to you.
Exactly.
To do the things that most excite you.
Exactly. And it's true. Even in our circumstance, AJ's circumstance, when we realize this, we really do have everything we need. Yet we realize that this is something that we need to everybody equally. And that's what this whole thing is about, the idea of equal abundance for all. And receiving the bits and pieces of what we need to create the entire picture. And again, I think about, I just think about AJ again, in that so many people right now are in a situation where they truly believe they can't have what they want. And so that was funny that, so we were talking about Jade and about,
it likes Wendy.
Yeah, and actually we had a very nice conversation just a little while ago. So this is actually Dave's white jade. So we were talking about jade and the jade plant and the jade crystal, and how it's not about attracting abundance necessarily. It's about realizing it's already there. But by opening our consciousness and allowing this jade energy in,
see, my jade is pointing to my abundance. It is an abundance attractor.
And so actually, this is Dave's white jade, and I just made we made friends just a little while ago. So so we were talking about how
jade pendulum.
And actually I had never seen white jade, so I don't know if you can give that a little better close up, but it's very beautiful. And so I wanted to, here we're playing show and tell. So here's Dave's Jade crystal skull. I love this thing. Oh, look at that face. Mm-hmm. Smile. And, I don't want to forget our green guy. Here's our green vote yes for open contact alien guy.
Mascot.
But I have to say, this is awfully, what do I want to call this? So stereotypical. Because they don't all look like that. But anyway, many of our
He's very excited.
Our gray friends resemble this, although they're not green, they're gray. But that's okay, because we know in some reality there are little green guys like this too. So, but he's very awesome.
He's been through a lot.
See,
I've had him for a long time.
Yeah. Yes, he was here when I came. So, and I thought, we gotta. I was like, he's gotta come out of the closet. He was sitting in a plant for a while.
I think he might have gotten run over with a lawnmower once by accident.
Oops. Well, that might explain his scars. And this is my purple jade crystal skull. Yeah. Whoops. Smell. There we go. So, I was just thinking about the idea of the jade. So, jade is a symbol of serenity and purity. It signifies wisdom gathered in tranquility. It increases love and nurturing. So that brings my next little thing here. A protective stone. Jade keeps the wearer from harm and brings harmony. Yesterday we talked about harmony and being in harmony with nature. Jade attracts good luck and friendship. So again, it's not about attracting something to us. It's about being grateful for that we already have it. And by being grateful that we already have it, it tells our higher self, bring me more of those things that I love. And I wanted to, as we're talking about trees and harmony with nature, in the spiritual realm, the healing properties of jade supports happiness and harmony in relationships, family, and work. It is said to promote abundance in material while also encouraging a relaxed state of being. Now, at the end of the day, isn't all the money that we work so hard for at the end of the day just so we can feel relaxed and calm and tranquil and maybe feather your nest in a place that makes you feel calm and tranquil? To be able to go places. We've been talking about traveling, to be able to go to places where you can feel calm and serene and tranquil and in harmony with yourself and all that you are. For centuries, we've known, millennia, that being in nature, being outside is really opening to more of all that you are. If you've been watching my videos, it opened me in a big way. I mean, it was just, it opened contact with so many aspects of me. And now I'm get so excited about meeting more and more of them. Jade is one of them. And I wanted to point that out too, I think I wrote some notes in my journal yesterday, but Jade itself, the name Jade, just like sage, Jade is a part of me. It's one of my fractals. It is a being, an essence, I can put a picture to her if I want to. I say her because I feel it's a feminine kind of energy, but it's really a perfect balance of energy and harmony. But it's just an idea, an energy, a name that came to me one day and literally said, we are Jade. We are the essence of Jade. We are a part of you. And that's why I'm excited about sharing the information about Jade, because it's a part of me. And if I can share a part of me with you, how does it relate to you? And how do these messages help you discover more of who you are? And it also, wearing jade symbolizes, and I'm just Googling this stuff, you guys. So I'm just looking at my phone, Googling this stuff. So it's the first stuff that comes up. So I just wanted to mention that. And many, associated with nobility and wealth. So we're talking about abundance. Many consider it a protector of generations, living and dead. So I thought that that was appropriate as well, that today being the anniversary of my niece's transition into non-physical, I thought what a perfect day to honor her and her connections to nature as well, and music and art and the stars. And
525.
525 is the time. Jade has been and always will be the UYU, the gem supreme, and the jewel of heaven, stone of the heart. So I just wanted to share that with you as well. And so I'm going to tell you really quickly about the story. So of Anastasia and the avocado tree and abundance. And very quickly, Dave and I were gifted 3-4 avocado seeds.
Avocados.
Avocados from a very, very old avocado tree in the Dominican Republic from a dear friend that they called Angel Nurse. And so that's kind of part of the idea too, is that energy. And it was an avocado that was I want to say, daughter of the original tree from the island, and an avocado was then planted from that tree and grown here in Florida. And the avocados that were gifted to us were from that tree in Florida. They were given to Dave, and we ate them last year during the week on his birthday, August 25th, and throughout that week, and I started sprouting them. And I gave 2 away, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And 3 sprouted.
3 sprouted, and and then one day. Did all 4 sprout? I was like, I thought we had 4.
I think all 3 from that tree sprouted. We tried to sprout from just another avocado,
and it didn't.
And it just didn't.
It just didn't. So we did a little video. There was where we planted our Anastasia. And there's a reason why it's named Anastasia. So we planted our little avocado tree, and we did a little ceremony. I did a little video. It's on my channel, and planted at 11 a.m. So I had made a dear friend in the Netherlands, Sylvia. So this is dedicated to her. And this is one of those times when this is where the gifts of abundance come in so many beautiful, surprising ways. And so we were having a conversation about the avocado seeds. And she said to me, do you know the story of Anastasia? Are you going to, she said, don't forget to lick the seeds and plant before you plant them. And she says, don't you know the story of Anastasia? And I didn't. And so I invite all of you to just look it up, the story of Anastasia. And it really has to do with planting seeds and putting the seeds in your mouth first, holding them for a very specific time. Now, all of this as I'm hearing the story, and I'm thinking about DNA, and I'm thinking about adding my DNA to the plant, and so and I'm hearing in my mind DNA and all this. So
I will
yes, remind me. Yes.
In the story, the woman named Anastasia who received information about how to do all this. One of the things that she received, and I don't know if it was from an elder or it was intuitively or channeled information. I don't remember if they even really said. But the concept was by adding your DNA to the seed, when the seed grows, it not only incorporates your DNA, but it now knows how to create fruit or whatever plant you're planting, that's specifically designed for you. So
See, I forgot that.
Yeah, the nutrients, the DNA of the plant is going to be for your own healing, things that benefit you. And that's why it's done that way.
Okay. And actually, I thought about Ranger, because Ranger, my dog, transitioned last year in December. And I literally think about him all the time, too, being a part of that plant. And so... It was such a special bunch of synchronicities that were happening all at once, and so I was laughing because the avocado seeds were so big, and I said, because you're supposed to hold it in your mouth for like 9 minutes or something, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
So we understand that all these things are permission slips.
Yes,
and understanding what the permission slip is allows you to make up your own method and intention. So we didn't stick the seeds in our mouth. And we also found out about it after it had already started to sprout.
And actually, so I just licked it before, I licked it before I planted it. And it was, so anyway. But the picture... In the video yesterday, when planting my jade plants, you could see the Anastasia plant behind me, the avocado tree, and you could see how tall it's gotten. And from when we planted in the first video, of course, it was really little. And so, as I was sharing the story with my friend Sylvia, she was talking about she was the one who actually taught me about the story about Anastasia, and so. I thought it would be a nice thing to name our avocado tree Anastasia, whether or not we're here in this particular home to eat the fruit. Normally it takes about 5 years. Dave's convinced it's going to happen like way sooner than that. Any minute. Any moment it's going to have flowers. But I told him, I said, even if we're not here, we get to share this magic, even if the people who live here don't know it. The story of it that we know, and so I'm telling this story, and so she really, really wanted to send me some flower bulbs from the Netherlands. She lives in the Netherlands, but during the whole situation going on globally, and I'm not sure if it's just, I think it's any time. I told her, so I'm not sure you can send plants anyway, to the U.S. from the Netherlands, just through the mail. But anyway, no, they wouldn't let her. So, anyway, so this is where you can't even explain the abundance and the sharing of how. It just goes beyond money. And so I wanted to share with you this amazing avocado bag. So I got this amazing gift, surprised me, because she was like so disappointed she couldn't send me bulbs, flower bulbs. So she said, well, let me just think about it. And so she just ended up being in a place, and she sent me the notes about it. And so she found an avocado bag. And so I was like, seriously, guys. So, and then now we live here in Southern Florida. We've talked a lot about Sirius, the cetacean nation, whales, dolphin, the connection to Sirius. It reminds me of this star ancestor card again, Sirius energy. And so she sent me this beautiful happy birthday card with dolphin on the front. Very, very exciting. And I just love it. And I was just reading it. So she's sending us love and magic. Here's some little gifts. A big dolphin hug for you and Dave with lots of aloha and whale kisses. Sylvia. And so the funny thing is that the other synchronicity was aloha. When I first met her, she greeted me in her first email with aloha. And aloha is something I wrote in my journal a long time ago. I was inspired by Bashar to about the word aloha, to see and research its deeper meanings, and what each letter of the words mean, the essences of what they mean. And I'm still going to share that. That's on my list of videos to make. So that was another synchronicity, was the whale energy, so many other synchronicities with that, and whales, and dolphin jewelry. So we want to swim with the dolphin down here. So we've got this dolphin energy. And so that was another synchronicity. So then in the bag were all these little gifts with this ladybug paper, which I love. And I've done a bunch of videos over the years about ladybugs. I've kind of weirdly connected to them. They've sent to me lots of telepathic messages. And so I don't even think she even still knows this, but so the ladybugs are a big synchronicity with me. I used to talk about the ladybug picnic, and I always had ladybugs in my house all year long. They would come in the summer and be in there all winter. And so that's another synchronicity. And the Ladybug Collective talked to me once about the spots on them, and I actually don't even remember now what the message was about it. Make plans and focus. Dave pulled a card. You want to share?
The card came out.
So this card came out. Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. So, where are we being asked right now to make plans and focus? So, we've been actually focusing and making plans, and also reminding ourselves to, within the plan, to have a plan, to change the plan. So to not be so rooted to the plan, but yet this, it reminded me of the wood. Oh, and I was drawing on myself yesterday too with my little tattoo pens. So that reminds me, have fun with that too, you guys. You know, we were talking today about showing other sides of ourselves and things like that too.
And she's got the crescent moon
and she's got the she does. Look, you guys, so I've got my Shungite crescent moon. It's a beautiful crescent new moon right now. And the focus thing is really what I wanted to talk about, because it reminded me of what you were talking about earlier about when we focus on something. And this is the kind of the general thing of we're all looking for the same thing: comfort, peace of mind, harmonies, loving thyself, knowing thyself, all of those things. And as you were talking about earlier, as soon as you think about a time when you were in that frequency, you're in that frequency. So it's just, this is where memory comes in too. Memory's not really memory. If we understand everything is now, there is no past or future, everything's now. A memory is a parallel reality snapshot you're pulling into your now to give you deeper meaning, to explore yourself in a new way. So what are you focusing on in that moment? When you focus in a particular direction, and I've been playing with focus a lot lately, about do we focus on what we can't or don't have, or do we focus on what we do have and what we can do? And by doing that, and then how the magic unfolds from there. And so the focus is the feeling. The focus is not the plan. The focus is the feeling. The plan sort of unfolds, if you will, with the focus. And that's very interesting, because no matter what we focus on, our mirror, called what you put out is what you get back. No matter what you focus on is what you're always going to get, always get back, reflected back to us. Always. So what do you focus on? What are we focusing on? What we want to focus on is the feeling, the energy, what is it I ultimately want to feel? When did I feel that way? And how can I revisit that feeling? And once you do, you're there. Is it the same? No, we talked about that earlier too. Is it going to feel exactly the same as it did the first time? No, it's not supposed to. It's supposed to feel different, richer, fuller. And And I'm even reminded of the focus on this. So I was looking at this and the wood. Dave just bought. So Dave gave me this little surprise today again. Acacia wood. We've talked about this before. Look it up. We discovered a lot of things about acacia wood, lots of synchronicities, and also the altar that we use, the incense, and how it's they talk about acacia wood in the Bible and other scripture places. That's not really a good way to put that, but so where it has been used, its energies. So I absolutely love the grain on this wood. We have dishes made of this. That's how we were talking about it yesterday. We have dishes made out of it, silverware, silverware. And so I was guided that he just got it just to use. I thought that it would be a good place to put our Andara crystals. So they have a new little home now. So we're inviting you all to look up acacia wood. What is it that you have to discover about it?
So what's funny is when we first learned about the acacia wood, I was looking up things you could buy that's made out of acacia. What's available? Hardly anything. As we started to accumulate a little bit more and more of it,
it was really weird.
Now all of a sudden it's popping up everywhere. It's
everywhere.
You create your own reality.
It is pretty funny. It really is. And then there's synchronicities that I had some acacia stuff. He had some acacia stuff already. And then we started finding more and more about it. And as soon as we found out about it, we shared it with you guys. And so we have acacia wood bedroom furniture. But see, now we're doing it intentionally. So, and this is where a focus. And so as we focus on the joy we want to feel, the what does abundance mean to you? Does it mean living in the desert? Does it mean living on an island? Does it mean living in the mountains? Does it mean living in a little tiny shack someplace? Does it mean living in a great big house? What does that mean to you? But it's what is the feeling you're trying to get? Take money out of the equation. Take money out of the equation. If you could have it, what do you want? What do you really, really, really want? And if we focus on that and let go how it's going to happen and let our higher self show us these things, hey, they're talking to me too. Every time I listen to the videos, I'm like, I know they're talking to me. They're talking to me because I am dealing with all of these limiting negative belief systems just like everybody else, and they're roaring up like volcano lava. Let me tell you. So I am not immune to any of this. So I'm just...
I also want to remind everyone, and this is not exclusive to when you're watching our videos, but you're receiving information at multidimensional levels, not just the conversations that we are having in the video. So you're receiving information at many different levels, and you may or may not be aware of all of them. But it's important that when you're in this energy of talking about these things, and particularly if you get excited about what we're talking about, for whatever reason, it might just remind you of something else that is exciting to you. Those exciting thoughts and feelings open you up and open up the doors to receive more information about those things.
Yes.
And as we're all channels to begin with, you might just now be thinking, oh, I would love to be at the beach. Well, you're opening a door to receive information in multidimensional levels in a quantum way of other beings, other people, other energies, collectives, whatever it might be, that are excited about the beach. And if you're open to it and you open the door and you allow these inspirations can come to you very easily.
Yes, they do. And I have to say, I was reminded about my vision board. So much of my vision board I shared many years ago on my channel, and I was showing Dave the pictures of it, and on it, because I had disassembled it and it was in storage, and so I was looking at them all again and realizing how many of them I've already manifested, how many of them represent very, very parallel, congruent dreams, if you will, focus, and so it's a lot of fun, and so and I have to say too, I was thinking about Sylvia in these things, and that she synchronistically having this conversation happens to just find avocado stuff, and she was at I believe she said shops, and so it wasn't even that she was looking for it. It just was right there for her to find. Look at that. This adorable little avocado change purse. I mean, come on. I was like, no way.
And I don't think they have avocado stores.
No, this is the funny part. And then I had her, I'm going to show this to you because it's in another language, which is another thing that's so fun for me, you guys, is when I get this stuff from you guys from overseas, and it's just, the energy from the knowing that someone picked it and touched it and thought about me and was excited about me getting it and opening it and about shopping for it. And this is what I'm talking about, that, okay, maybe it took her money to buy it, but how exciting is it to just not just receive maybe a donation, but to get a surprise in the mail, and know that someone took all this time and energy. I'm just going to show this to you, because like I said, she did translate it for me, but if you guys can read that, so, and then look at this little, I love this. So there's this little green crystal angel, and I swear, does that not look like an avocado seed? I mean, come on. I'm just like, oh, just look, even if whether it's meant to be or not meant to be, come on, an avocado with wings, and it's, and the avocado seed was from Angel Nurse, and it just happened to be during Dave's birthday, and planting it at 11 a.m. And the date was significant as well. I think there was this very special reason why we planted it on that date. So this is what I'm saying about abundance. And last but not certainly least is more ladybug paper. But if you've been watching me for a little while, you know how much I love journals. And I've got a lot of them. And I have a lot of them that have very special purposes and uses, and also the recipient of this beautiful, beautiful journal, and all of the beautiful, amazing synchronicities, even in the artwork of this amazing journal. The crescent moon, the goddess, the flowers, flower girl. I think she's holding a drink in her hand, that looks to be something like a fruity drink. I absolutely love her gown. So these are the I don't even know the words to use. And this is something my guides were saying to me yesterday too, about words and vocabulary and channeling. To be better channels, they said it is important and exciting for us to look these things up, to research these things, because it increases our vocabulary and our knowledge base, if you want to call it knowledge, but we know we're only going to we're going to know what we need to know when we need to know it, right when we need to know it. So you don't really have to memorize anything. But that leads me to another thing too. But the idea is that, where was I going to go with that? Channeling. The more we understand, the more words we have to describe things. As channels, our guides can only use the vocabulary we have to describe something. So they were saying to me yesterday, it's good to look up this stuff and research this stuff, and even the words and the names, even words that we're reading that we're maybe not even conscious that we're reading, things that we may even see as we're scrolling through looking at other things. They were saying increases our vocabulary, and it makes it easier for them to channel messages through us, because we have more words to use to describe what they're trying to say. Because they really speak to us not really in words, but visions, packets of information. It's not always words necessarily, and I'm not saying it isn't, but even, say, for example, when I'm hearing something from Jade, or, that idea, it translates to words, because that's all we have is words to be able to translate it to each other, but it doesn't really come through as words necessarily. It's a little difficult to explain. I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that.
Well, I mean, everything's vibration.
and it is.
So
even the color, she said, is part of the ability to connect and expand with that.
Yeah. So, the communication occurs through vibration, and the vibration is translated with the path of least resistance. So it might be there aren't really good words to represent the idea, so you might get visions, you might get feelings, you might recognize synchronicities around you, whatever it might be. But of course, because there's not really memory and learning in that sense, even looking at a dictionary and scanning through all the words in the dictionary imprints that information in a way that allows that information to be accessed in the channeling mode, and that way thoughts and ideas can be represented and sent to you.
Yes.
Using words that maybe you thought you didn't even know.
That's true. That's true too. Actually, I hadn't even thought of that.
So, and the idea too is if you don't speak a certain language and somebody is talking to you in that language, you're not really going to understand anything. So there's not a whole big point in receiving messages in something that you don't understand.
Although go ahead.
Well, I'm just thinking that it does happen that way also for different reasons, because at different levels, such as when speaking light language.
That's what I was just going to say. See, we're on the same track there. About exactly.
That you're receiving information.
Yes.
That is not meant for your mind to understand. So that's the light languages come in sounds and words and symbols and motions.
Yes, different ways. And I want to say too about what is light language, and that as Dave's talking about
flashings of light.
I wanted to mention it because someone had asked that again, and it's there's a lot of people out there who have videos about what is light language. You couldn't really find any information about it 5-10 years ago. And there's more and more of it now because more and more people are experiencing it, and more people are explaining it to other people so that they can explain it to other people.
And the idea too, it's actually a pretty simple idea. If the whole of you is only represented in a very small part of us here,
Yes.
the light language, for example, is being sent to the whole of you. So of course, the little part of us might not understand the whole message, and we don't have to.
Correct. Well, it's like listening to a beautiful piece of music. We've talked about this before. You could listen to an amazing, beautiful piece of music that doesn't have any lyrics, yet it could bring you to tears. Its beauty.
555.
555. And we talked about five. High five. High five. Boy, this five energy, five. It's like, this is how they present themselves to me, which is kind of why I sometimes hesitate to bring this stuff through, because this is how they sound to me.
We are the five.
We are five. We are the five. Hello. And so but it's the idea of the fifth five, the five energy, the human form, that the human form is everywhere across the cosmos. And that we were talking about the number 2. So, and they were explaining about that. The more I become connected to, say, to nature, and the more I become, me personally, I am opening up to animal consciousness in ways I've never understood before. I'm feeling things I never understood, that I haven't felt before.
I get to do my engineering.
And I wanted to say, as far as we were talking about family and ancestors and things like that too, I wanted to share my little elephant here. This belonged to my great grandmother, and so it's had a little bit of repairs. But so we were talking about the elephant. So I wanted to say hi to Beverly. Hey, Beverly. For some reason, we've been in this elephant energy, and I've been seeing stuff. So okay. 2 things I wanted to add to this about equality. So the elephants, how it started was when I lived in Tennessee for a little while, there's an elephant sanctuary there. We just found out through a video, thank you, Beverly, for sharing it, was about I don't want to get the circus wrong. Was it Barnum?
I think it was Barnum and Bailey. Mm-hmm.
Barnum and Bailey retired when they retired all their elephants, and because of backlash, they're here in Florida. And there's a brand new place that has been designed for the elephants here in Florida. And I forget how far it is from us, but so thank you for sharing that with Beverly, with us, Beverly. No, I did not know that, so I'm very excited about that.
Where they could live in a more natural and holistic way.
And holistic,
to just enjoy
was
their
the
life.
word they used. Holistic. The other thing I wanted to say, and I don't want to, and I will share this with you guys because I'm only paraphrasing because I don't want to get it wrong. The email that your dad sent me about the animal, about Happy the elephant. It's a court case about Happy the elephant, and Happy got recognized
by the courts
as having the right of having rights. And that, so here we're talking about the elephant sanctuary, and that she has the right to not live in
a cage and and on display.
And so this is huge. This is a court case that says animals have equal rights. And so in the court system. So this is big. So I wanted to thank his dad. So thank you, Barry, for sending that to me as well. So a lot of elephant energy. So what does this mean to you guys? We were talking a little bit earlier about memory. Animals known about the elephant is recognized because of memory. Yet if we understand a memory is right now, from a parallel reality happening right now, it's still every day I'm grasping the idea. our memory is not, this moment really has nothing to do with a moment ago. Not really. And when we, from a quantum physics standpoint, start to understand parallel universes, parallel realities, what memory actually is, what consciousness is, this is what drives me, is higher consciousness education. What's been driving me all along from the moment I discovered my own consciousness, and what creation and creating our reality really is. It was just an explosion for me. I wanted to share this too. My other little. So, my buddy Ranger, my dog, I had this. It used to be a frisbee, and he was playing with it one day, just chewing on it. And I was all of a sudden, I was like, so I had to save the face. So I've had this thing hanging behind me on my altar and bunches of my videos over the years. And so, but again, this is focus. When I first found this, it was like this, and so I even put this in my garden for a long time and did videos with him in my garden, intentionally inviting my star families to come visit me. Intentionally inviting them through a goofy little piece of broken frisbee. So, intention, reminding us who we are, reminding us of our star families and our connections to each other and the earth and all of these things. So, and I wanted to share with you guys too. The acacia wood that he purchased is from Pacific Merchants Acacia Ware. Acacia ware is responsibly forested from healthy forests and is done so in an environmentally friendly and sustainable manner. Harvesting rates that do not exceed a forest's natural capacity to regenerate. Natural forest conditions for healthy wildlife and ecosystems are maintained. Threatened, endangered species and rare forest types are protected. No forests are cleared, cut, leaving barren land. Chemical use is minimized. And there's their information. So I just want to share that with you guys, if you were interested in where we got the bowl. So, and we have several of these actually. So that was part of what I wanted to share with you too about being in harmony with nature. And so what I wanted to do next was so I've got the animal spirit, and I've actually shared this before with you guys. This particular card, the elephant card. From this deck, and I love that she's got a jewel. I say she, I'm just saying she has a jewel at the third eye, and the message is that we really do, with our third eye, already see everything, hear everything, have everything we need to know when we need to know it. That memory is a message from your other multidimensional selves, your guides, giving you an answer to a question you've asked. And how we respond to that information. How do we respond to that in that moment? How are we responding to that memory? How are we responding to the belief that shows up? What happens in that moment? What belief is showing up in that moment? In what we call that memory. Is there a limiting belief that we need to look at in that moment? Is there an empowering message there for us to look at? What is that? How is that memory serving us? How can we take that memory that maybe gives us a feeling that doesn't feel so good, and that not feeling so good feeling is the feeling that you're thinking something about that moment that your higher self doesn't agree with, that that we're looking at it from maybe a not such a higher perspective. I'm just going to put this light on. See if that helps a little bit. And we had a fire last night, so we were burning our fire again last night in our little fire cauldron. So looking closely at holding the fire, seeing clearly with our third eye, knowing that we are unstoppable, auspicious, and wise. Just want to show you the book there. The elephant is arguably the most auspicious figure in the deck. And once again, I'm reminded that the elephant is the largest land mammal, and the whale is the largest sea mammal. Like Ganesh, the elephant represents immense wisdom, as well as good fortune. Here we're talking about good fortune and abundance and all the ways good fortune can come to us. It is said that the great elephant is the destroyer of obstacles. And obstacles are negative beliefs, limiting beliefs. That's all an obstacle is. It is just a belief that you can't do something, and the only reason we believe it is because we can't see how. We're not supposed to know the how. Our higher self knows the how. I was just listening to see if there was some more coming with that about obstacles. And I wrote something in my journal about the obstacles, about that the other day, about the walls. I was writing lyrics to a song, and it was about that. That's what it was. It was about how, we are the ones creating the walls, and how they literally, once we change a belief, that limiting wall, like I think the word that they used, or the phrase that they used was melting like chalk drawings in the rain, because that's what it's like. It's like once you change your belief, it sort of just melts away. You're like, what we thought was an obstacle was nothing but something we created. The elephant is the destroyer of obstacles. So if this card appears when you feel stuck, rest assured the path will soon become clear. To add to the mystery, the elephant is also known to create obstacles in order to steer us in the right direction. We've been talking a lot about that lately, about what direction do we want to go in, steering us in the right direction. We've been excuse me, this has been a lot about this today, about even for Dave and I, steering us in a particular direction and steering us away from particular directions and being okay with that. Just in order to steer us in the right direction. Trust this gentle, noble creature. It illuminates the way with the light of self-knowledge. When in balance, one pointed focus, generous and loving. To put it back in balance, we have to trust ourselves. So when we're not in balance, we misunderstand messages sometimes because we're looking at it from the other side of the coin. When we could just as easily, and this is a message for me too, when we can just as easily look at the other side of the coin. It's kind of, I didn't know if you wanted to turn on another light. You look dark. You look dark.
Just because I'm behind you.
And I have to say too that
we'll get closer.
It's, we're coming from a new moon. So I've got, my crescent moon here. I've got my moonstone. So I have the Queen of the Moon Oracle that I wanted to pull, but I wanted to show you guys too. I grabbed the Fairy Oracle of the Fairies. So this was also dedicated to Autumn and all you fairy spirits out there. And to remind us that we're in nature, we're connected to the elements and the elementals. And there's so much I could share about elementals, but the card that was up on top, New Beginnings. And there's also happens to be 2 doves on here, which we just had baby doves, 2 baby doves. There's New beginnings. The fairy godmother heralds the joyous news of a new baby or the birth of a cherished idea. Protect and nurture your ideas as you would a baby. And so we were talking this card over here. Make plans and focus. Nurture it like you would a baby. Nurture your plans and allow whatever develops to come out of it, even if it changes the direction you were going in completely. I have gotten that message so much for myself lately. So I know I feel it strongly for myself as well, that this looking for a direction is about that. It's about nurturing that focus and yet letting it take you in a whole new direction, to start a new beginning,
and a baby,
and a baby. If you guys can see the baby in there. So, there's trees. Oh, and you know what? I was just talking about
birch.
Yes, that's okay. So there's a message for you guys somewhere. Birch trees, birch bark, birch beer, birch water. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there because the elephant that I just carved, wherever I put it. Oh, where did I put it? How come I didn't put it on my tray? Here it is. I was talking about the fire we had last night because of the fire and the elephant. We were burning birch wood. White birch?
Yep.
White birch. So, white birch. There's a message for somebody. If that resonates with you, if you have a message about it, a comment about it, a synchronicity about it, please let us know. I'm very curious. And I wanted to mention too about learning light language. It's not about learning it. It's about letting it through. It's about connecting with your heart. I started speaking light languages because I put my focus and intention. I just said, you know what? I'm excited about this. For some reason, I would listen to people's light languages, some of them, and it would make me emotional. I would cry. It was as if I could feel limiting belief systems melting away. And I was like, what is happening to me? I did not understand it. But yet I knew it was something that for some reason, it was like, oh, I think I'm supposed to do this, or not supposed to, but could just feel it in my soul of souls. And so when we talk about, in answer to your question, may you discover your fairy wings inside the sanctuary of your precious heart. Your fairy wings. And this goes with light languages. It's about allowing it through. And this is something we do in sessions. We bring it through. We allow it to, however I am guided to help you bring it through is how I'm guided to help you bring it through. And I had an experience the other day with somebody who started speaking it right then and there in the session. Some people it's a day, some people it's a week, some people it's a couple of months. Everyone's different. It's your path. It's how it's relative to your journey. Everyone is, but the point is if it's something that you're excited about doing and you put your intention out there, let it go and you'll be guided. For example, if you're watching this video and light languages excites you, you're being guided here for a reason. There's some information here for you. So take what you will. I want to remind everybody, these are just our perspectives and the perspectives from my guides, channeled information through Dave and I. These are just perspectives, just like your perspective is a perspective. And everyone's perspectives are perfect and equal. Take what you like, leave the rest. You are brought here for a reason. This is the master's class. You're going to see, I see a lot of that out there now. People advertising the master's class. That's what this is. You're already in it, guys. You're already in it. You're here. You're already in the master's class.
You don't have to sign up.
You know you don't. And there's no certificate. There is no certificate you get at the end of the master's class. It doesn't work that way. So you are already a master because you're here. And so we just, I don't have the book in front of me, but we were just talking about Masters of Limitation, the book by Daryl Anka. It's in the mainstream now. Bashar, Darylinka, you can buy it at Walmart now. You can buy it on Amazon. It's like, okay, ETs, extraterrestrials, parallel realities, frequencies, vibration, it's in Walmart now. It's just like pretty soon, in a couple of years, when I say couple of years, what I really mean by that is right now in another reality, we are experiencing it right now. That wasn't that way a year ago. Look at how far we've come, but it's not far. We haven't come anywhere. We haven't gone anywhere. All you've done is shifted your focus from this reality to another one that, guess what? Now ETs are talked about mainstream. And so friendship. I have gained. Let's talk about abundance just for a moment. Friendship. Sylvia, all of you, that I have been so graced and humbled by the presence and the sharing, the friendships that I have gained. The keys, I got the keys on the back of this card. The friendships I have gained. Talk about abundance. I have never felt more abundant, and I want to say a lot of us, and I'm speaking from a personal experience here too, about being away from people physically, and that means whether you've moved away or whether they've transitioned, gives us the opportunity to explore the relationship in a whole new way, from a whole new perspective. And we hold on so tight to mourning, meaning missing the physicalness, that we're losing sight of the more beautiful and expansive connection and interaction and friendship and relationship than we can have. And I have had the most beautiful, fruitful experiences meeting people online, having never touched them and met them in physicalness, and have also experienced relationships with those who have transitioned, and including my dog Ranger, in ways I've never experienced before. So that is another thing. How do we put price on a friendship? You cannot put a price tag on meeting a friend. And this is why I was invited to conduct my sharing the way that I do, because the friendships that I've gained had nothing to do with money. And all along anyway, if somebody came to me and said, I would love to have a session with you, but I can't afford it, I've never, ever turned anyone away. So it wasn't about money to begin with anyway. And even if it was, any of you who've had a session with me, you know, there is no time limit. It's like it lasts as long as it lasts. So that is how that works. And so I thought, okay, my abundance is I have everything I need to do, what I need to do, when I need to do it. So if I can share with you my gifts and abilities, and money's out of the not an object, then I get to receive all of these wonderful, beautiful, magical gifts in return that may or may not have anything to do with money. Yet, of course, I also I am in deepest gratitude to those of you who do send monetary donations. All of it is an expression, a gift of sharing and friendship. Fairies and humans alike need friends. Now is the time to seek out those who support and encourage you on your journey to fulfill your dreams. And I have to say, Dave and I mean, it just, that is exactly how our life began, as a friendship, and had not met in person yet. And just hearing these words, now is the time to seek out those who support and encourage you on your journey to fulfill your dreams. And that is what I was putting out to the universe in general was, and I think we all are, someone who will support you and encourage you to fulfill your dreams. Fulfill your dreams. It's not about following another's dreams. It's not it. But Dave will say that his dream is my dream. How can I say that better? How can I say this better? What I was putting out to the universe was that to be surrounded by people who were supporting me and helping me fulfill my dream, which was meeting people from all over the world and making deep connections with people that I never did before, even in the physical. People I worked with, friends. I've never experienced the depth of what I feel and the friendships that I feel that I've gained with all of you. So that's really a culmination of this whole message, the story of Anastasia, the gifts that I received, the avocados, how it started with the avocado seeds, and how this whole thing created this big, beautiful story. Yes.
Well, I guess what I would say is everyone you meet is family. No matter who they might be, they're family. So fairies and humans alike need friends. So make friends with a fairy.
Make friends with a fairy. So I wanted to say hello to Fairy, Feather the fairy. Feather is a fairy that came to my sister and I. And one day my sister said we were together hanging out one day, my sister and my physical sister, Cindy, and she said, "There's a fairy named Feather here." And so any of you who know me know how much I love feathers. Feathers has been a symbol for me of the white feather of magic. I have taught a white magic class. I've been, but it's all about, what symbol means magic to you. And feathers for most of us mean scribing. They mean feathers. They mean fairies. They mean angels. They mean messages from above, from our spirits. Birds, messages from the birds. Oh, the doves, I wanted to point out. There's the doves. I thought about the dove feathers, owl feathers, peacock feathers. All of these are the feathers, the symbols of connecting with the elementals, connecting with your nature, your inner nature, your playful nature. Stargazing. We were stargazing last night. So this has got the full moon. So between the new moon and the full moon, how can you bring in more friendships, love, abundance? How can you see that which you already have before you? I'm excited about the coming full moon. It's the flower moon. It's the super moon. It's the full moon in Sagittarius, and I'm a Sagittarius sun sign, so it's my full moon of the year. I'm sure I'll be doing some more fun things with that. But I was thinking about us last couple nights out at the fire and stargazing and watching the cycles of the moon. And when you gaze at the stars, you give yourself fairy focus. So we're talking about focus. Your intuition will flow more freely. Today's flow, the number 8, which also is the infinity symbol, will flow more freely and reveal what you need to know about your situation. So that's definitely a message for me, for sure. there's a lot of new beginnings and exciting things on the horizons, even for us, and us changing our focus. And I was just thinking about how the things that we've been talking about as we're stargazing, how we're focusing on the feeling that we're looking for, and then allowing the flow of the synchronicities to bring us the answers that we're looking for.
And that brings us also to the card that came out for me in the Queen of the Moon Oracle.
Yes. Oh, and another full moon.
And another 5.
And another 5.
32.
5. Number 32 equals 5. 5. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't make this stuff up, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Look, 5. Is that trees? Yes. 5 trees. We have a lot of ducks around here, by the way. I forgot the name of them. Muscovy ducks, all different kinds. But so it's reminding me of the ducks walking around here. Egg moon, trust. Oh, and eggs. I was just thinking about the dove eggs and new birds, new beginnings, babies coming out of your shell, flying out of your nest, being free from your nest, finding a new nest, refeathering your nest, trust, wisdom, trust in your inner wisdom, trust the information that's coming to you when you're stargazing. Trust the information in the cycles of the moon. Trust the information that you receive between now, this new moon energy, and the full moon. Trust the information that you're getting, and maybe even jot some things down from this conversation, and then look back on it again. And I'll do the same. I'm going to do the same. This is part of my challenge too. How am I going to see things differently as I trust the information that comes through these next couple of weeks between now and the full moon, to trust that I too am receiving information about my situation. See, all of this stuff is for all of us. Your intuition will flow more freely, revealing what you need to know about your situation. So this is a huge message for me right now. So I'm going to invite myself and all of us in this idea that we are trusting the information we receive. Write it down. Where can you put more trust in your own guidance and your own intuition? And maybe trusting that a particular situation can and will change for the highest good of all concerned. And I will say that when we do that, I'm reminded once again, and that was an inspiration from Dave, when we ask for something, not for ourselves, but for my highest good and the highest good of all concerned, you're always going to be included in that. So if you're always concluding for the highest good of the all, by virtue of being part of the all, it is also for you. And so trust in that. A lot of things I'm being reminded right now of. Remember when you wanted what you have now, and trust how you trusted then or mistrusted what you could or couldn't do, or what you could and couldn't have. And what is that showing us, me today? So where are we putting our trust? Are we putting our trust in abundance? or and an abundance of what? What are you trusting in the abundance of? So I think, is there anything else? I think I want to share a little light language blessing to sort of, I don't know, crystallize all of these messages. And we've got our fire here. So
I was just going to make some smoke.
I like the idea of the sending the smoke signals and yeah. I was thinking about something else too, about May and
Ane tae no tu te e kane te ua nata. He tu ua ka ane te ia nata.
Ina I seva sono bale kishana sevi lohala kisema eva sono sevi iti samalihina ki le kisova sono te vehea amato alokoshea lisina ki kaiva sono se seva sono tive sema sova I inta ki ishana se siva sono ki vahela kistena te vahia mama leve somo leva sono nia ki sete semo so se vashana koleva sono sove shoso Sonisiki ai kia I javasana a inta ila kia amose. Seva shano sevi ha a konovesha potvukulia tavesano maavaku. Pleshono si vesanati seva shano sea o tavikilasu servisho uaki I se seva shano. So I'm seeing this they're showing me this green burst of energy. This I say and I was reminded of what we just read about the power of the few. And it had to do with the 144,000. But the idea that the energy of the power of the few, am I saying this right? Completely outweighs, I don't know if outweighs is the right word.
Well,
the
nature of positive energy
yes.
is expansive. The
and
nature of
integrative
negative energy is collapsing. So it only takes a few
yes
of higher energy to outweigh many of lower energy.
Something, and I'll come back to you on the 144,000 thing, because there's something that's still in my mind about that we just heard about. I think it was in a.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things, but one of them just talked about.
But it was specifically that was it wasn't about 144,000 souls. It wasn't about anything like that. It was about the energy of the 144,000.
Well.
Anyway, we can come back to that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different
but
things.
There was something else. Yeah, there was something that he and I were just exploring.
But the idea of the 144,000 frequency.
Oh, maybe that was it.
But also that with the 7 billion people, it would only take 144,000.
That was it.
Was it.
To shift. The whole collective consciousness. That was it. That out of the 7 billion people, it would only take 144,000 of us to shift the whole consciousness. So what I was seeing, feeling, showing us, all this green, there's a lot of green energy here.
And that number represents needing only to be biased in the positive direction.
Yes.
So it's not... You need 144,000 people at the highest level as possible. Just has to be biased to the positive.
Right. So.
And that was I think I don't remember.
Was that a Bashar event?
But I think that occurred in 2012.
Oh, yes, that's what happened.
Where the balance shifted.
That's what happened in
that
2012. That's the balance shifted, where there was enough of us that were finally vibrating there, where it shifted the entire collective consciousness, it was a whole nother convergence, if you will. So in 2012 was the end of the Mayan calendar.
Mm-hmm.
So that was that whole thing too, which that's a whole nother thing, this whole Maya energy right now. That's a whole nother video. But so I think really the gist of everything that I was feeling to share today, I was just thinking, was there anything left? And so this is the last one I wanted to draw, was from the Magical Herb deck. Just this idea that we have been in this plant connecting to the elementals, 5, this energy, this which I'll explain more in another video and see what comes through from them. But this idea of 5 and the connection to Earth, the representation of Earth, hearing this idea once again of the 5-leaf plants, looking more into that idea. I still hear starfish, because they represent themselves as the starfish shape. Starfish shaped starship. Starfish shaped starship. Say that a few times. Starfish shaped starship.
Starfish shaped starship.
Okay, I'm just saying, just telling you what I'm hearing. There is such a thing. I'm telling you now, they're telling me it's a thing.
Well, maybe there'll be reports of starship-shaped starships.
I'm very excited. Very excited. Okay, stop. Enthusiasm. Dill. Number 19 equals 1. 1 and 9. 10. Enthusiasm. So, being passionate about being passionate. What are you so afraid to be enthusiastic about? My guides even asked me that again the other day. If you were doing every day, all day long, what you really, really wanted to be doing, what would it be?
We saw this twice. I saw it twice.
Did you? What?
Well...
You mean the dill?
No, the shooting star.
Oh!
Look at the shooting star thing.
That's right! Oh my god! Okay, see the shooting star in the back? Okay, this is another bunch of weird synchronicities. Okay, we've seen 2 now so far, just like that. I have a quilt. We'll tell you a story. I've told the story about the quilt before, but we'll do it again because it's so cool.
The tapestry.
Of
life.
The tapestry of life. There is a part of this quilt that has a shooting star indication, and now this card. And stargazing. Stargazing. Information will be revealed to all of you watching this message as you're stargazing. Your star family has information for you. Listen while you're stargazing. Something about dill. I'm hearing pickles, of course, because dill pickles, The plant dill. Every single plant has a frequency and an energy and a message. Every plant is a messenger, a medicine, in some quantity. Dill is something we use in very, very tiny quantities because a little goes a long, long way with dill. A little goes a long way. A little goes a long way.
So I am also reminded that Rick told me to give AJ dill to chew on.
Rick's a friend of ours. Rick, is it Rick Jewers?
Mm-hmm.
Rick Jewers. He's on Facebook. Another going away from money idea. Rick Jewers.
So I'm just reminded.
So
maybe
there
I
was,
should pick up some of that at the store.
So
tomorrow.
there was a reason why. See, and
Dill.
Dave and I live this way, and I'm not kidding. We get these messages, and then we know there's something in it for us. I was asking him the other day about, silver. Just yesterday, my guides told me again, silver. I need some colloidal silver. So there was some things that were copper, selenium. So I'm sharing these because they're just so. Maybe that is a message for us. And so he had set, for whatever reason, dill has a frequency. So maybe if you guys are watching this, maybe you need to buy something with dill in it. Maybe you need to add dill to something. Maybe you need to eat a dill pickle. Maybe you need to grow some dill because and
we need more pickles.
And we've been out of dill pickles for a while. And I was going to remind you to get some at the grocery store tomorrow. So dill is it's a person. I mean, it's an energy, it's an essence. So when I say it's a person, it's a being. Everything has a representation. This is the light
So
representation.
What does the Dill Collective have to tell us today?
That was part of the message that they keep saying over and over is a little bit goes a long way. A little bit of our energy goes a long way. A little bit of what you do goes a long way. A little bit of what you give goes a long way. So let's talk about this. We're talking about abundance. Maybe some of you have a situation where you think giving just a little bit to somebody might not be enough. But remember, a little bit goes a long way. So that is somehow the big message here for us too, me and you too. A little bit goes a long way. A little bit of sharing, a little bit of caring, a little bit of compassion, empathy, a little bit of stargazing goes a long way toward opening you up. I know it's the same thing with pickles themselves. I eat a pickle, a little goes a long way. Like one's enough,
Well, so
what are you getting?
From a little bit higher of a perspective, I'm getting this idea that since we all make up our own reality, and as we meet people in the street, as we meet people in the street, we're meeting the version of them that we're creating in our reality to represent them for us. For them, they're meeting the version of us in their reality for them. So let's just say you see someone that is sitting on the corner and can use some smokes. I'll use that as an example. And you give him a cigarette. If he asks or not, you give him a cigarette. In our reality, we're giving him something small. Maybe we give him a pack of smokes if we have a lot. Maybe we could only spare one at the moment. He receives the one cigarette. In our reality, in his reality, that one cigarette could be a carton or a cigarette that he trades for something else, or it just might make him feel happy about himself for the rest of the day.
Yep. And then he may be looking forward to that cigarette all day long. Can't wait to stargaze.
So we don't know. There's no way for us to know what he is experiencing in his version of his reality. And that might be $100 bill that we gave him in his reality. We don't know. We have no way to know. All we could do is share in the abundance.
And I'm glad that you said that, because a couple of people have said to me, with regarding the sessions, I feel like if I have to choose how much, that I'm not valuing you enough because I want to give you more, but maybe I can't. But that doesn't, I don't see it that way at all. So, because one of the reasons why it's set up the way it is too is that if you want to have a one-time donation, you can do that as many times as you want. Or let's just say, what do we got? $4, $4.44, $7.77, $11.11 a month. So let's just say somebody charges $150 for a session. But you can't afford $150 all at once. But let's just say that you can afford $4 or $7 or $11 a month, which over a course of a whole year equals one session. You get the excitement and enthusiasm of giving something and supporting someone's excitement and enthusiasm, and it supports my enthusiasm. And even though it may seem like just a little bit, you guys have no idea what that means to me. It's not the money. It's the expression of love, and that a little bit goes a long way. And so that $4 buys me a cup of coffee. It, at the end of the year, it buys me a deck of cards. So that's how I look at this stuff. It's not...
Well, it's not only that, but I mean, we've come up with those amounts because they are also
energetic
numbers that represent energetic things.
Right.
So, and a lot of spiritual people use numbers in that way as well. So the idea too is, you could give, let's just say, one of the options. And the reasons why we did this was because we don't want to restrict our abundance to not money.
Exactly.
But the idea is, let's just say you choose $4.44. Well, that number represents something energetic.
Yes, $4.44.
And if you give it once, of course, there's an energetic meaning to it that is individual and personal for every time you see it. So that might mean something to you, the giver. It might mean something different to the receiver.
Yes.
But the concept of the monthly thing is, even if it was only $3.33, it doesn't matter what it adds up to after a year. It's every month.
Right.
Wendy gets to see
333, 444. So, and that's why I'm glad you said that, because that's what's so exciting for me is that I do have people that donate that way, and it surprises me because I forget, and so I get surprised every month. And the person that sends it to me, people have said to me, I chose this particular date of the month to send it to you because it means something energetic to me. So it means something energetic to them to send it on that particular day. I receive it on that particular day. I get excited because I'm like, oh my God, I forgot, And so I get excited about it. And so this is...
And when you notice that it comes in, when you're checking your email or checking whatever, that's a synchronistic time as well to see that number. That might be a confirmation of something that we're doing or thinking about.
Hey, and I'm human too, just like everyone else. And sometimes I think,
be a part of the synchronicity wheel.
How can I do more every day? How can I be more? And then I'm reminded when I get that email, a little bit goes a long way. And then I remember how I'm reminded, and in the deepest, humblest gratitude of this person is taking, this amount and sending it to me, and I'm receiving it. And just like Dave said, the ripples of synchronicities that are happening while this is happening, indescribable. So it sends me a message too that keep your enthusiasm up. It has nothing to do with money, and yet this monetary expression is a sign from my guides to keep sharing. Just keep sharing. No insistence, no nothing. Just keep doing what you love for the sake of doing it. And what you receive in return is indescribable. So I'm so excited that I finally made this video, and I'm going to send a link to Sylvia because it's long overdue. And aloha, my dear friend. So many other synchronicities with the word aloha.
And I think we talked about this in the beginning of the video, so we get to go full circle.
Yes, I like that.
Where when you're thinking about something, you're in that energy.
Yes.
So, for instance, if somebody has a session with you and they have an enjoyable time and they remember that high energy that they were in, being in their excitement during the session.
Yes.
When they see, oh, I sent Wendy the $4.44 again this month.
Yeah.
They recall the session that they had.
That's true.
Which might have been a year ago.
That's true.
And they're in that high energy again. And maybe they needed that little boost
at that moment. And that excites me a lot. And knowing that they're getting their boost too. And so thank you for mentioning that. And I have to say thank you again. I receive emails all the time from people that I have sessions from years ago, and just to thank me, tell me what's happened in their life, how everything that we talked about I don't want to say came to pass, because that's not what I do, reading the future. So that's not a thing for me, but that it's about them telling me how I saw the beauty and the possibilities. There we go. I saw the possibilities, because that's really all any of us can do, is see the possibilities. So if these offer you enthusiasm to see your own possibilities, that's why I do what I do. That's the only reason to open up all of your possibilities to yourselves. I don't know if that'll stay. And be enthusiastic about what you do every day, and remember, everything you do, a little goes a long way. The friendship, connecting with your star families, holding a space for each other. Maybe you're afraid to hold a space. Maybe maybe one of you wants to start your own YouTube channel and start holding a space for someone else. Maybe you want to do something in the healing world, sound healing, light languages. Give yourself permission to hold the space. And thank you for being with us as we hold the space. It's so rewarding for us. It's really very rewarding. And I want to start doing more videos about Q&A, answering your guys' questions and comments. So keep them coming. So trust. I'm just looking through the cards. Trust in yourself, and trust what you hear from your heart, and listen while you're stargazing. And think about us when you're stargazing. We're thinking about you guys all the time, and when we're stargazing. I was just listening. I think that's it. I was just listening to see if there's any more. Oh, look at the light. And here we have halos. Sunday. So today, I wish you all a beautiful Sunday. If it's still Sunday for you, the beginning of the week. Just smile and spread the sunshine. I used to have a friend a long time ago that used to sign all of her emails that way. Smile and spread the sunshine. So there's a shout out to her. Love you all. Anything else?
No, that was a lot of fun. I'm very excited.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. Mwah.
And thank you for the sharing.